Hello and welcome to this FPL video where I'll be going through the best Fantasy Premier League squad of all time. The Fantasy Premier League that we know and love today began at the start of the 2002-2003 season, and year upon year the game has grown. So let's take a look back at which players have performed the best since the game began over 15 years ago. For the best FPL squad, I'll be using a 3-4-3 formation to show you the greatest players to ever grace the Fantasy Premier League. Before we get into that, I just want to mention that I'm also looking to create a video where we look at the greatest bargain FPL players of all time. So if you'd like to see that, then please leave a like and also comment your suggestions below. But for today's video, we'll be looking solely at the highest scoring players in FPL history, with some surprising names in the starting 11 and on the bench, as well as some surprising omissions. So starting on the bench, and the first surprise here is Simon Mignolet. Back in the 2014-15 season, Mignolet finished the season on 181 points, just beating out the then Swansea keeper Lucas Fabianski. Despite letting in a whopping 6 goals against Stoke on the final day of the season, the Liverpool goalkeeper managed 14 clean sheets but clinched the top spot by saves made. The first of two defenders on the bench is Gary Cahill, a top Premier League defender over the years with Chelsea and Bolton Wanderers. Gary Cahill has been a reliable source for FPL managers over the last few years, and back in the 2016-2017 season, the Chelsea centre-back picked up 178 points during Chelsea's title-winning season and playing in 15 out of the 16 games where Chelsea kept a clean sheet. Alongside Cahill on the bench is former United favourite Nemanja Vidic. The former United captain claimed 187 points in the 2008-2009 season, where United conceded the joint fewest goals all season on way to title success. Finally on the bench sees Gareth Bale from his final season at Spurs. The Welshman grabbed 249 points during his last season in London, as well as scoring 21 goals in the league and picking up the PFA Player and Young Player of the Year awards. Now we go into our starting 11, and in goal sees the American Brad Friedel in between the posts. The former Blackburn #1 helped Blackburn to his 6th place finish during Fantasy Premier League's inaugural season, and the 187 points he scored has kept the #1 keeper slot ever since. First up at the back, we see Joleon Lescott from his 2007-2008 season at Everton. Everton finished 5th that season, and even though they had a good defensive record, it was Lescott's goal-scoring prowess that gave him 196 points throughout that season, where he finished with 10 goals in all competitions and a shot-to-goal ratio of 42.1%. Alongside Lescott sees Branislav Ivanovic. In the 2014-15 season, the Chelsea defender finished the season valued at a whopping $9 million. However, that didn't stop 28% of FPL managers owning him, and a final points total of 209 points proved he was worth every single penny. Chelsea conceded the fewest goals during that season, where they finished ahead of second place Manchester City by 8 points. Finally at the back we see John Terry from the very same season as Ivanovic, and for the same reasons. Terry finished the season valued at 8.7 million and he earned 210 points with a final ownership of 24.4%. This was also the season where Mr. Chelsea captained the club for the 500th time in a match against Crystal Palace. Moving on to the midfield now, and we begin with the highest scoring FPL player of all time, and that is last year's Mohamed Salah. The King of Egypt astounded players and pundits alike, breaking records left, right and centre. He grabbed 32 goals in 36 games, won numerous awards and finished the season above 300 points with a final tally of 303. In the middle sees Frank Lampard from his 2009-2010 season, where Chelsea won the title by a single point over Manchester United. Lampard himself scored a staggering 22 goals from centre midfield, a feat that has not been equalled since. The current day Derby County manager finished on 284 points and is the 3rd highest scoring FPL player of all time. Next, we move on to one of arguably the greatest players of all time, Cristiano Ronaldo. The beginning of the 2007-2008 season wasn't great for Ronaldo and his FPL managers, as he was sent off for headbutting a Portsmouth player. However, the Portuguese superstar would score 31 goals in 34 starts, finishing on 283 FPL points and coming runner-up to Kaká in the race for the Ballon d'Or. Finishing off the midfield four, and we have Alexis Sanchez from his 2016-2017 season. Although the Chilean is looking like a shadow of his former self right now, the former Arsenal man was a FPL favourite during his Arsenal days, and he picked up a super 264 points that season, where he scored 24 goals and got 10 assists, being the only player to reach double figures in both of those areas. The front three begins with Luis Suarez from his 2013-2014 Liverpool season. In his final season at Liverpool, the Uruguayan bagged 31 goals in 33 games, taking home the PFA Player of the Season award, the Premier League Golden Boot, the Football Association Writers Player of the Year, and sharing the European Golden Shoe award with Cristiano Ronaldo, all whilst repaying the trust shown in him by FPL managers by giving them 295 points from that season. The Flying Dutchman Robin van Persie from his 2011-2012 season at Arsenal makes the starting 11, finishing the season on 269 points. RVP's tally reached 30 goals in 38 games for his final season at Arsenal, after which he would leave the Gunners for their rivals Manchester United and win the league with the Red Devils in his first season at Old Trafford. Finally, we finish off with another Arsenal player and another player from the inaugural Fantasy Premier League season of 2002-2003, with Arsenal legend Thierry Henry. The Frenchman showed off his va-va-voom by scoring 271 points for the season and picking up his first PFA Players Player of the Year award. The following season would see Arsenal crowned champions following an invincible season, and Henry again crowned as the best FPL striker, albeit finishing with few points total despite scoring 30 goals in comparison to the 24 he scored during the 2002-2003 season. However, assists seems to have made the difference for this season. That's it for this FPL video looking at the best ever FPL squad of all time. If you enjoyed the video, then maybe leave a like and subscribe. And remember, if you'd like to see a video looking at the best bargain players of all time, then please let me know and leave your comments and suggestions in the comments below. Also, let me know who has been your most memorable and favourite FPL player of all time. This week's usual FPL video should be out tomorrow, so until then, have a good one.